I gotta say it's been the week of Taylor Rooks's X account, because last week before we left, we talked about Donovan Mitchell's comments to her, and now I am back on a Monday, and we're talking about Donovan Mitchell on Taylor Rooks's X account, and talking about the importance of pushing Evan Mobley going forward. So I guess my first thing, what was your first reaction when you heard that?
I loved it. I love the idea that he signaled out why he signed the extension was Evan Mobley. There was enough there. There was enough of a compliment sandwich in between the idea of what he was trying to get his point across, right? Obviously, he wants Mobley to be more vocal. I think that's a thing that we all see with Mobley to begin with anyway, but sometimes you do have to call out players in a certain way. But he did it in a nice compliment sandwich, in a way that reaffirmed to Mobley, at least I think, that I'm here because of you. Now here's how we need to get better.
I always viewed Anthony Davis in LA. I think LeBron was trying to give him the foundation of how to become the best player in the NBA, and then he eventually wanted to pass it off, meaning almost like the Shaq Kobe thing, where Shaq was the reason they won the first couple championships, and by the end, Kobe was his equal. And then it turns out AD just didn't have it. That's just not who he is as a basketball player. I do think Evan has it. What's interesting is I also think in key moments, Donovan has to remember that as much as Evan does.
Yeah, I just think so. This is where I would say a lot of this falls on Donovan in some ways too, though. Like, if you're going to be the captain of this team and the person that is the dominating force in this team, then you have to be the one to call out Evan in these spots. Be like, hey, I need you to be more vocal here. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And I'm sure he's doing some of those things, but I get it.
You also have to be self-aware.
For sure.
And I mean, you and I have called out umpteenth times how in the second half of that Pacers series, there were times where Evan was calling for it. There were times where Evan was being aggressive, and then Evan would get the offense on a roll by just because Indiana had no, as great as Miles Turner is, he didn't really have a great answer for Evan Mobley. And then the second there would be momentum there, it would be jack up 3 shots or hold the ball, pound on the pavement, and then take a bad shot.
Right, but we still saw too many times like the second half of Game 5, and maybe I want more clarity on that, where Donovan just either didn't trust him, didn't have the belief that he would be able to get the job done, or Evan just stopped calling for the ball. Something happened where the final 13 possessions all were Donovan Mitchell ending.
Well, and that to me is where I'm driving at. Is it's like, I love hearing this from Donovan, and it should be said, I love the way Donovan leads in public, because I think it's a lesson that JB Bickerstaff could have learned. I think it's a lesson a lot. I think Kevin Stefanski could lead like this. You're not being critical. It is the compliment sandwich, but you are giving the truth to the public, which is all anybody really wants to hear if you're a fan, while also giving deference to say, hey, we got to figure this out. We got to work this out. And I love that Donovan's doing this. I also think, all right, are we going to give him, because now it becomes, to me, it's not just on Evan. It's maybe where I'm going with this. It's on Kenny. It's on Donovan. It's on Darius. You need to set aside games where it's like, hey, this is a great matchup. We're going to figure out the first 3 quarters of the game. And then the fourth quarter, we're going to Evan. That's as much on the Cavs, the rest of the Cavs, as it is just on Evan to me. And it's the only part of this that I'm not entirely comfortable with is if we just put it on Evan, I think the Cavs are missing the greater point.
It's been an odd stretch for Donovan in some of this stuff, though. Think about it. So last week when you were off, I got really mad at the idea that everyone was going after Sophie Cunningham. That's a different story for a different time. But Donovan was quote tweeting about that. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant, Nash, and LeBron were all doing this podcast bashing Darius Garland. And in the process of it all, I was like, well, Donovan, where are you at? You need to be defending your guy in that moment. You need to be publicly out here defending Darius, and he just was nowhere to be found. And so I think it's interesting the things that Donovan is now choosing to take part in and not take part in.
I mean, this is the summer of building up Evan, though.
That's what I mean by that. That's what makes it so interesting. Is so Darius got absolutely destroyed for a 24-hour period by 3 of the. I mean, Nash was a 2-time MVP winner. He is very, very outspoken, and he's got a big name in the NBA. But Durant and LeBron, I mean, they brought up Garland, and they made it seem like he'd never played basketball before in a sense. And where was Donovan there? Nowhere to be found. And so, but he's out here with the Evan Mobley comment. I think that's really interesting.
I think, do you think it's all on Evan, by the way?
The success of the team next year, maybe not. Depends what happens. If like LeBron comes home, then definitely not. That would take a lot of pressure off Evan Mobley. If it's Evan Mobley and Donovan, how do you get to another level if not for Evan Mobley? Like Donovan's proven he can't get past the second round. I love Donovan, but he's shown us there's enough proof there his entire career he can't get to the conference finals. If some reason he's able to, it's not because Donovan took another step forward. There's no more step forward for Donovan to take. It's going to be because other pieces around him, like Evan, take a massive step forward.
Well, and Evan is a part of Donovan's legacy in a way that Darius won't be. To answer your part of a second ago, like Darius will never be a part of Donovan's legacy because they're going to be lumped in together. And until the Cavs actually break this up, whenever that could happen, whether it's 2 years from now because of salary or not, Evan's the guy that elevates Donovan's legacy. I think Darius is a very helpful player, but
isn't there recognition by Donovan in that he sees it the way you're describing it right there, where it's like, I got to go out here and I got to talk about Evan and I got to find a way to get the most out of Evan, where when it comes to defending Darius, I'll just be crickets.
Yeah.
Because I know where that's going.
Yeah, but I think that's where this is. This is where, again, I'm not going to kill the Cavs for the offseason. They've clearly, they're going to run it back, and that's fine. Not how I would do it, but maybe we don't know the offers that weren't out there, so I'll give them that benefit of the doubt. Kobe, I think, has earned that. The Cavs in general have earned that. But like Donovan and Darius was built to be broken up. Just the way that those two guys play, the overlaps, the fact that they're not the same player, but again, they occupy the same place. They have the same ball dominant trends. Like that was always built to be broken up. And by the way, it's still, even if you don't break it up because of the fit, in 2 years, you're going to offload one of those players because of the financial implications anyway.
Right.
So whereas it is plausible that either Darius or Evan or Donovan or Evan are going to be the core moving forward. And that's why, like, I actually will go one step further. I think Darius should be out here talking about Evan and trying to expand the perception of him.
Well, Darius hasn't been anywhere. I haven't heard him talk anywhere, and he's been dragged through for a week and a half now, and I haven't heard him speak up at all.
I think it would be time, because I think the farther we go into this, it's clearly becoming Donovan and Evan's team, and Darius is going to be left in the wake. Some of this is optics, but some of it just seems to be reality.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a great point by you, and I think it's so fascinating, that relationship between Donovan and Evan, and watching it take a next step. But maybe the whole part of this is that Donovan understands what I was alluding to, that he can't go far in the playoffs if it's just him. He needs Evan to really overtake him at some point.